Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. New for 2018, Rolex redesigned the Datejust, one of the longest running canonical Rolex models, first introduced in 1945 for the 40th anniversary of the Rolex manufacture. The 2018 Datejust upgrades the timepiece. Subtle reprofiling of the case and dial, but significant re-engineering of the movement inside. Still 36 millimeters, it wears easily on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. You can see in this down the barrel shot that the watch is nicely constrained across the wrist at only 44.8 millimeters when you include the outer outcropping of the Super Jubilee bracelet. And I should mention, the Jubilee so named because it was born with the Datejust in 1945, the 40th anniversary or Jubilee of Rolex. So the timepiece is easy to wear. White gold bezel, stainless steel, highly anti-corrosive Rolex 904L steel. They set themselves apart by using this rather unnecessarily corrosion-resistant steel, but Rolex does give you more than you need and more than you expect. Now the timepiece is relatively slender in profile, as my calipers measure it only 11.6 millimeters thick. The spacing between the lugs is 20 millimeters if you want to accessorize, and the timepiece in 36 millimeters with the proportions it has, just one of a long sequence of oyster-cased Rolex watches that look more like a cushion case profile than a conventional round watch. So on the wrist it looks a little bit larger, more like a 37 or a 38. The Super Jubilee is a wonderful piece. I call it the Super Jubilee because the Jubilee was redesigned back in 2005 with all solid links, solid end links as well as solid center links. You can't see through them, and there is enough structural integrity and rigidity to this bracelet that it's now tough enough to be considered a sports bracelet, just like the Oyster. And because it has the traditionally small individual links, it is silky. It is almost like a piece of silk or soft textile on the wrist. You'll also note that from the underside, it actually vents the wrist far better than the more sporting Oyster. So this is a wonderful watch to wear in hot weather and during activity. Believe it or not, it's a sports watch, 100 meters water resistant, and every removable link fixed by screws. You can see that there is a lift lock system. There's a beak and a hook internal to the clasp, and you can hear it click, because you actually can't pull this open. You need to lift the vertical trigger. So it's a very smart system. Though it looks like a friction fit clasp, it's anything but. Please, folks, wear your Rolex watches. It's only a watch if you watch it on your wrist. If it's in the safe, it's an unwatched, and that's just sad. However, it will be to the advantage of the next owner that the first owner never enjoyed this piece. You have the Easy Link system that gives you about 5 millimeters of tool-free adjustment, and then you can see there are a number of divots drilled inside the clasp. And one of the changes that Rolex has made, you can use a strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet, but one of the changes Rolex has made to this long-running feature is Rolex has added these little tracks that allow you to lead the spring bar into the divot. So you have more adjustability than the naked eye would assume. You have the ability to remove links, you have Easy Link, and then you have the 3 divots. Jumping back to the case, it is a lovely profile. It's not the super case from the Subs, the Sea Dwellers, the Explorer 2s, and the GMTs. It's fluid, it's compound curved and almost a little bit sexy, and light moves across its surface almost like the dance of a flame. You'll also appreciate the fact that there is a sharp break between lug and case flank, and again, because this watch wasn't properly loved, all of the original metal is present and correct. This watch has never been refinished. You'll also appreciate the fact that the bezel, having never been refinished, maintains that gem-like faceted twinkle that we associate with fluted Rolex precious metal bezels. It looks outstanding. Now I should mention Rolex makes its own white gold, which means it is not rhodium plated like conventional watchmaking white gold. So even if you scratch it, there's no milky yellow substrate beneath, and it never needs to be replated. The dial on this one is exquisite. It is a white lacquer with stylized white gold Roman numerals, white gold Rolex crown, white gold hands that are actually split down the center. You can see they're faceting to improve the contrast against the white dial base. Why white gold features? Well, quite simply because they are tarnish resistant and they will not corrode or fade over time. There is a stylized railroad track outboard, and you can see one of the hallmarks of recent Rolex production, the little crown that now sits between Swiss and made at 6 o'clock. There is a Cyclops eye magnifier, and Rolex had the good taste to make that a monotone date disc in white. Screw down crown, Rolex twin lock, 100 meters water resistant, and underneath the case back, the new coolness. Reference 3235, 31 joules automatic winding with a new chronometer escapement, a thinned out mainspring barrel, and a larger mainspring. The watch goes from 48 hours the power reserve of the previous model up to 70. It still beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. There is a quick set for the date, hacking seconds for the timepiece, so you can set the watch to the second. It also features a sports watch-like free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge for shock resistance and overcoil hairspring to help the watch keep excellent time in any orientation on your wrist or dresser. And because of that overcoil, which is a Breguet overcoil and handmade at Rolex, the watch is able to earn its chronometer certificate in multiple positions. Even better, it is a blue oxidized niobium zirconium alloy, that hairspring, so it is highly anti-magnetic. Rolex calls that parachrom blue. Finally, Rolex takes the chronometer certified movement and cases it up in the watch, adjusts it to keep time no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per day, or better. Remember, that is the new substantive basis for the term superlative chronometer. See this one and make it yours on the Watchbox.